It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
And so no wealth survey would be complete without asking the respondents, what was your key? What was the key to success? What was the thing that you think got you there? How did you do it? Now, one of the common misnomers out there that's all over the place is that wealth is something that stays inside families. The only way that you can be wealthy is if you inherit it, as if it comes to you, as if mom and dad or grandma or grandpa or great uncle leaves you money. So we asked our folks, how much of your first million was attributed to inheritance? How did your wealth come to you? Did you inherit it? And the numbers, I think, are remarkable.
Yeah, I wanted to, because our data came in that people less than $10,000, because we put none or less than $10,000. It was 74% of our respondents, meaning that these are people who didn't come from families with money or the silver spoon elements. And just before, because I think a lot of people will say, hey, but that's you guys, that's your clients. And I want to expand out the context here and the fact that we've had, I talked to you guys about what an influence the Millionaire Next Door was from Dr. Stanley and Danko. Really powerful. And that data came in right around 80%. And then I thought it was interesting. Ramsey Solutions done one of the largest surveys of millionaires. They're right around 80%. Yep. And then I'll even expand. We had Dr. Stanley's daughter on, Sarah. She's a doctor as well. But Sarah wrote the book, The Next Millionaire Next Door, because she wanted to update all the research from the Millionaire Next Door. And she had a really cool stat, and I'm going to screw this up because I'm doing it from memory, but it went all the way back to the 1800s. And when you stratify out what was considered the millionaires of that stage, it was also, once again, 80%. So I want you guys to know, if you're sitting out there and you have humble beginnings, you can do this. Yep. I mean, because we get comments from like, what are these? We did it. I mean, we coming from very humble.
In that 80%.
Come from that humble beginning, Mark, and didn't listen to all the noise that's coming in and made it happen. But if you're a person that does come from a family where maybe college was paid for, you didn't have student loan debt, and your parents are in a pretty affluent situation, and you're thankful for that, I want to challenge you, because this stat doesn't happen unless we have these data points. It makes me so sad to share this, because we now have children that are going to fall into this category. 70% of wealth is disintegrates within the second generation. 90% disintegrates by the third generation. So by the time the grandkids get the money,
starts all over again.
We've cleansed the whole wealth building process. That's the only way this 80%, close to 80% number consistently shows up in the data. So if you're a person that maybe you are in a positive situation where your parents were able to help out, you have a challenge to educate those children you have, as well as to make sure you're practicing what we're talking about here, because I think it's wealth destruction makes me sad, because it's one of those things where, your money can work harder than you can with your back, your brains, and your hands. So you might as well keep that engine going, not just let it evaporate because you don't have the discipline to keep it there.
And so maybe you're saying, okay, well, yeah, all right, and you're not inherited. But the only people that are wealthy, there's something special about them. They have some special, unique thing about them. So we asked our clients, hey, what's the special, unique thing about you that catapulted you into wealth? Do you have some talent that no one else has? Or do you have some remarkable intelligence that allowed you to climb the corporate ladder? Or are you just a crazy risk taker that was able to go out there and start some super successful business? Or is there something else? And it's really, really interesting when we look at the numbers. Only 6% of our respondents said that they are virtuosos. These are folks that have a skill set like they're professional athletes or they're performers, or they're able to do something so much better than the general populace. There's a talent that allowed them to get to where they are. 10% of our respondents said, I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to go out and start a business and build that business and build wealth and success through that business. 17% of our respondents said that they were senior executives. They were able to go work their way up the corporate ladder, increase the size of their shovel, and because of that, they were able to build wealth. But listen to this. The vast majority of our folks, 2/3 of our respondents, said that they were simply savers and investors. 67% of folks said, hey, the way that I got to where I am today is I sacrificed a little bit of my income today for a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And I did that consistently through time, over and over and over again. And that was my key to building a 7-figure net worth.
And this is why anyone can be rich.
That's right.
I mean, it really does make me so positive to think about this, is that all you have to do is start that behavior of taking just that little bit of today. You said it beautifully. I love talking about that great, big, beautiful tomorrow, that vision of the future. And and what's crazy is it doesn't even have to be a crazy percentage. That's why we share. I know in the comments you guys are going to start sharing that you're saving 40, 50%. That's great for all you hyper accumulators like that. But maybe you're one of those aspirational people. You come from humble beginnings. There is nothing wrong with just starting the process. I don't care if it's $50 a month. Just be a saver, be an investor, always be buying, no matter, because we're in a market right now where a lot of volatility. I mean, I was on vacation last week. You know, the only thing I saw when I kept up is that markets got beat up every day.
Yep.
But you know what? That's not going to change my behavior. I don't think it's going to change our clients' behavior. They're going to consistently be buying through the markets. They're going to be savers, meaning they're going to spend less than they make. And then they're going to put that money to work by investing it. And then they're going to give it enough time. So all three components of the wealth recipe will be respected.